Fuego on the beat, so it's hot now.
Yeah, okay, it goes like this. Hold up. Attention that I give her is a validation. If I don't hit her back, then she get impatient. She hit it when I say that she acting crazy. She looks so good that I'm contemplating. When we face to face, there's no hesitation. She cut all her friends out of the equation. She love to pop pills like she in the Matrix. She love to do things for the mentions. Talking about her ex-man, like this shit concerns me. She like to blow up my line. Could you just let me breathe? You said you wanna have fun. Now you act like you in love. Told you that I'm not the one, but I can't get enough. Ay, she wanna come through, so I sent the Eddie. Daddy wasn't around, so she called me Daddy. All my homies tell me that I got a Betty. Yeah.
So here's the story with Moby. He grew up in the late 90s, came on the scene, I should say, in the late 90s for us.
Yeah.
And you blew up big.
Surprisingly.
A boy from Connecticut.
Well, I was born in Harlem.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And I lived in Harlem for a while, then my father killed himself.
Oh.
My mother and I moved back to Connecticut where she had grown up, and I grew up poor white trash in arguably the most affluent town in the United States, Darien, Connecticut.
One of my college roommates from Darien.
Really?
I've been there several times.
Uh-oh, do I know them?
Grethel?
I don't know, maybe. Did I date them in high school?
No, that was Wilton. Hi, Michelle.
Okay, yeah. But so growing up, we were on food stamps, we were on welfare, buying all my clothes at Goodwill and Salvation Army, but living in the richest town in the United States.
Yes.
So it's given me like a sense of shame and inadequacy.
What did Mom do for a living? Did she clean houses or something?
We actually cleaned houses together.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons I still weirdly love cleaning. Because it was one of my favorite memories growing up is my mom and I would clean houses together when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
So
and
millions of
really
dollars
happy.
hasn't changed you.
I'm really good at cleaning.
Yeah. Congratulations on this memoir.
Oh,
I
thanks.
can't wait to dive into it. You know, I was told some of the highlights and I said, wow, wow. What were your drugs of choice, though?
I loved vodka, I loved ecstasy, I loved cocaine, I loved mushrooms, I loved smoking crystal meth with strangers in bathrooms. And I was what we colloquially refer to as a garbage head.
What's
like, if it was put in front of me, I did it.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, like, and sometimes, I remember one time I found a bag of drugs in a toilet at a dive bar on the Lower East Side at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Shut up, Moby.
And I took this bag of drugs. I had no idea what it was.
Right.
And it was like drug roulette. I was like, I'm going to do all these drugs with no idea. Am I doing crystal meth? Is it cocaine? Is it heroin? And luckily, I didn't die, even though I wanted to, but...
Moby.
What?
So who were you surrounding yourself by? Because I know, okay, you dated Natalie Portman. At one point, David Bowie was your next door neighbor,
Yeah.
so you were living large, and you are among the glitterati. But who were your good friends?
My best friends at the time, basically anyone I met at a bar at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, they were my best friends. And like, yeah, I was just looking for validation. You know, I needed that connection without real intimacy.
And so your father killed himself and your mother passed away. Who was your sober moral sounding board? Did you have an aunt or a friend from high school who's like Moby? I mean, is this your real name?
Well, so I'm related to Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick.
Okay, okay.
And my parents had a sense of humor. So when I was born, they gave me the nickname Moby because I kind of looked like a little tiny whale, like white and blobby.
So who's pulling you and saying, Moby, you know, you're letting the sex, the drugs, and the rock and roll take you apart. Who is your person pulling at you?
Well, the funny thing about New York is no one. Everyone encouraged me. It was always like, drink more, go out more, spend more money, do this. But then when I finally bottomed out, I started going to AA meetings on the Bowery, and I met these amazing...
I go to some of those on the Bowery, too.
Like, living now?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
and I met some like old bottomed alcoholics. Like these guys, as probably know some of them, like in their 70s, their 80s, and they're like.
I don't talk much. I just go and observe.
People who are like sleeping on the sidewalk who truly bottomed out, but they have like a wisdom and a spirituality, and that's what saved me.
So now, I mean, this book is so interesting, and one of the other interesting things about you, you must be the only person that we'll ever know who gives away 100% of every dime he's making currently to charity. I mean, and it's not just about 100% of the proceeds of this book. When you are hired these days to DJ, you give 100% of your money to charity?
When I perform at fundraisers.
Oh.
But basically, the thing is, like some people, I'm sure everyone here and everyone watching, if you gave them a lot of money, they'd do great things with it.
Yes.
I was terrible with money. Like I spent stupidly and it didn't make me happy. So now I live a really simple life and whatever money I make, I give to charity because I was really bad at spending money.
And who is your partner? Do you have love? Would you have a partner now?
No, and I'm not looking for sympathy. I've kind of given up on the idea of ever having a relationship because I love my spiritual life. I love creativity. I love the idea of being of service.
Do you have regular sex?
You know, between you and I, the last time I had a romantic date was about 3.5 years ago. So I don't even, I'm like some like weird monk or something.
No, you're not weird. You're our kind of people. What took you so long to get here? This is Moby, everybody. And his book is called Then It Fell Apart.